It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Cowboys and the Pats, and it's coming up next.
Autumn has come to New England. No place like it on earth this time of year. We're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Cowboys in this matchup, and this is going to be a heck of a chess match. This offense against a defense that will take no prisoners out there.
It's going to be a big-time battle, and I think that both of these teams have that mindset of, we're going to do what we do and make the other guys react to us. And we've definitely got a couple of headstrong coordinators who won't back down from a challenge. So this will be a battle of wits as much as it'll be a battle of brawn.
Here's the punter, Jake Bailey, ready to do the honors. And we are underway in Foxborough. This is Tony Pollard. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here comes this Dallas offense, led by Dak Prescott in his 6th season now as the Cowboy quarterback.
And you remember last year he got off to an incredible start, threw for over 450 yards in 3 straight weeks, including 502 against the Cleveland Browns in Week 4. Just 4 yards short of the franchise's single-game record. Then came his injury in Week 5 that pretty well derailed the Cowboy season.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
And without as much fanfare as you might expect, Amari Cooper's gone over 1,000 yards in 5 of his 6 NFL seasons. And even without Dak Prescott for much of last year, he finished with a career-high 92 catches.
Elliott a first down and more. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
New England trying to get a place on offense. So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a run characteristic of Damian Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
They'll run it. This is Ramondre Stevenson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 44, Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 7 yards there and a 1st down. The completion there by Mac Jones. And Charles, what do you think this defense needs to do to slow down this young rookie from Alabama?
Well, as usual with a rookie, pass rush is big. Put some pressure on him and see if he can handle things in the pocket. But the other one is your defensive backs, linebackers who are covering people, they need to be on the spot because he's extremely accurate with the ball. He doesn't miss very many throws downfield, puts it right on his receivers. You have to be there to stop them at the point of the catch. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing Jones. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. Oh, he bowls over him. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Jones. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! Kendrick Bourne from 10 yards out. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Fulk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now Pollard. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Prescott completes it right side to Cooper. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense. Man, they got to let it play.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to again amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
The veteran in his first year with the Cowboys, Brian Anger, on to punt. Gunnar Olszewski deep for New England. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Osa Odighizuwa, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
And the AFC's Pro Bowl punter last year, Jake Bailey, on to punt for New England. CeeDee Lamb deep for the Cowboys. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Broken short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
He's gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A 40-yard punt, no return, and that will come the offense as they take over. New England's offense set to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jones. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Jones. Completes it to Aguilar. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. On the ground, it's Harris. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
Protect yourself,
and now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaking up down there on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. There the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Back to throw. Jones. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Dorrance Armstrong in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes one extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Come on, time to play. Come on with it, man. Outside, outside. Come on, let's go. Do that again, baby. Do it again.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Taylor now returning it.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
After one, it's 9-0. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. They run with Harris. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
No pain, no gain. Come on.
Here's Jones on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. An option handoff given to Harris. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
New England on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And now here come the Cowboys. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They start on the ground with Elliott. Able to power through and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
1st down, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
By anyone's measure, CeeDee Lamb had an excellent rookie campaign with 74 catches and 935 yards. He's poised for an even bigger season this year.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. A give to Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Off the play fake, Prescott. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Dietrich Wise able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Prescott to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
The Pats at the line, ready to go, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. This is Harris. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 57 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 39, Jones throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
New England on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. Checking this down to Stevenson. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Nick Folk for the Patriots field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the 2nd quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so because the run has been very effective for them.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. A first down carry by Elliott. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
On first down, it's Elliott, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the 41, Prescott.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
85 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They keep on the ground with Elliott. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Jones, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Henry, and he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And the drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there that gives him a new set of downs.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise. That position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
They'll run on first down. Harris, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Jones. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And got his man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 33. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Jones. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They'll look to throw again. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Dorrance Armstrong picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble, because now you've got a guy that's played so well. You don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have a football with him at all times.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Patriots, we take a look there at the numbers for them running the football in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. On the return is J.J. Taylor. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Jones. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Max 42, Max 42.
Looking to throw. Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Mike 42, Mike 42, check.
On the give, this is Harris. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On second down now, it's Stevenson. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
2nd and 2.
Here's Harris. And he's taken down inside the 30. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run. Here's Harris.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. From the gun, it's Stevenson.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Harris. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they run with Harris off the option.
Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That'll make things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They run with Harris. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. Harris.
And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Patriots take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Now Pollard. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing, Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away.
Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50. Damian Harris of the Patriot offense ready to take over again. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them the first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first down, Harris. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. It's caught by Aguilar. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And the Patriots added Nelson Aguilar in free agency, and he's going to be part of this rebuilt receiving corps from a year ago. Really upped his value around the league with a solid season with the Raiders last year, increased his confidence, as well as having a career high in receiving yards.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Micah Parsons, the rookie, in on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A 2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action from Foxborough. Looking to throw. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And Folk's kick is good. And that's going to open the lead up now to 3 scores at 18-0. So just 3 points there, but that important in the grand scheme of things is it's now a 3-score lead.
And to now, the other guys haven't shown that they can do anything offensively, so just take the points, keep adding that cushion, and let your defense win you the football game.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Now Pollard.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. On the option, here's Elliott. Uses the stiff arm. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Prescott now. There's the stiff arm. 3 yards the gain there, second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Patriots. Past the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Randy Gregory. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
They'll try and run. Stevenson. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Nick Folk for the Patriots field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
And Folk's kick is good. And the lead opens up now 21-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Now Pollard. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Prescott. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And again, it's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time, Prescott on 4th. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's got enough for the 1st across midfield to the 48. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Seventh play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. They'll throw again. Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Elliott. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
To the air again, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Elliott. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On first down, Elliott. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd and 2, Prescott. He's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup on the receiving end from Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor. And able to get this out to the 25.
Good work, boy. Let's go.
Damian Harris and the Patriot offense ready to take over again.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, it's Stevenson. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On third down, here's Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. To throw is Prescott. And this one too low.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Elliott. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
The Cowboys on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Open man Lamb, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Prescott.
He's got his man. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Cowboys have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you look at the next-gen stats, you'll see that he topped out at an even 21 miles an hour.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Taylor now to return it. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. New England trying to get a place on offense.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all three timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll run again with Harris. And he powers his way up past the 30. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Dak and the Cowboys down 21-14. Less than 90 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. To throw, Prescott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now Prescott. And this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Here's Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Now Dak. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. So now let's look at this situation with no timeouts remaining. The offense should be able to just run the clock out.
I know that's what it says on my time management chart up here. And I know a lot of teams are hiring a time management coach who's going to sit in the box, talk to the head coach. And in this situation, if you do anything but take a knee in victory formation, then you're not playing the game right. This game should be over. Take the knee, hold on to the ball.
By the way, so impressive that you do have a time management chart up here.
Listen, you know I can't count. So I need it in a big way. And we can't hire anyone to help us out. So hopefully I'm reading it correctly.
Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.